Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Ben and Jerry, shut the fuck up. You might have seen the tweet that they sent out yesterday on the 4th of July. Speaking of, hope everybody had a happy and, more importantly, a safe 4th of July. Hopefully nobody pulled a Jason Pierre-Paul. But Ben and Jerry's, every once in a while that something... Like it's something, they just need something like it's not that like a scratch. Don't scratch their back. Oh yeah, they need to be patted on the back. They need, hi, I'm still here. I still care about indigenous people and people of color. So they sent out a tweet yesterday on the 4th of July, and it said, the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. This 4th of July, let's commit to returning it. What does that mean, to commit to returning it? Let's say we're going to return it. How do you commit to that? Do you give a couple acres in good faith? Did you give up anything in good faith? Ben and Jerry, since you're up on your high horse, wagging your fucking commie finger at us. And by the way, Ben and Jerry's look like a couple of fucking perverts. If tomorrow we woke up and they said, breaking news, Ben and Jerry's are tied to some fucked up shit with kids or something, you'd be like, of course, look at them. But that tweet didn't say that. Had their tweet said, we've just given all the land that Ben and Jerry's owns to indigenous people, and fuck that indigenous people shit. They're Indians. I'll start calling them indigenous people when I'm driving down the highway and I see a sign that says, Indigenous People Casino 2 miles ahead. Until then, I'm calling them Indians. If they call themselves Indians, I'm going to call them Indians. But it's all bullshit. They don't mean anything. If you were really serious about the pain and the heartache of what America did to the indigenous people when we took their land, we need to commit to giving it back. Okay. Had you sent out a tweet that said we just gave the land that our headquarters is on in Vermont to the blah, blah, blah tribe. There's a shitload of Indian tribes up there. Take your pick, Ben and Jerry's. They're not fucking serious. And why do they always say this shit after they become wealthy? You didn't start out, Ben and Jerry, saying we're only going to hire indigenous people, and the land that we buy, we're going to find out the indigenous people that it belongs to, and we're going to give jobs to their people too. We're going to let them own it. We're just going to give the ideas, all the profits and the money, that's all going to the Indian people. Ben and Jerry's, we're non-profit. We don't make shit. All the money goes to them. We're going to put them on the containers. When have you seen a Ben and Jerry's container with some fucking Indians on it? You ain't serious. They're full of shit. And they can say that because of the freedoms and the comfort that we have in America. Their parent company, what's it called? Unilever, they do business in Russia. But Ben and Jerry's a couple years back or a year ago, they're talking about we're not going to do business on any Israel land, any Israel occupied land on the West Bank. Fuck that. We don't like the way they're treating the Palestinians. But then you're over here supporting, you got businesses in Russia. You're paying the Russian government tax revenue. What's Russia doing right now with Ukraine? Never mind. But I was like, of course, this left-wing commie shit company, of course they're going to fucking say something like that. You ain't going to give a fucking dime to no indigenous people. And if we're being honest, Indians receive more government assistance than any other group in the country. So somebody's helping them out. But why don't you help them? I'm sure isn't the land and the topography up in Vermont a lot better than the open plains of Oklahoma? I'm not shitting on Oklahoma, but open plains, Vermont. They got seasons up there. You could go online and look at a video and watch the trees turn from green to orange. Vermont? That sounds good. You think some indigenous people don't want to have some land up in Vermont? Of course not. Ben and Jerry's is full of shit. You don't give a fuck about indigenous people. We need to commit to returning it. What does that mean, commit? How do you show commitment? Are you going to ask the indigenous people to go steady? You're going to put a ring on their finger to show commitment? How do you do that? It's all bullshit. They're not going to do nothing. They don't give a fuck about no indigenous people. And I can't stand and they also said the company went on to propose the U.S. should start with Mount Rushmore. So you're getting specific now. You're saying we need to start by giving back Mount Rushmore, which is in South Dakota. Again, Ben and Jerry's, if you're so serious about giving land back, give the land that you own back as a sign of good faith. Then that might push these government entities. Okay, shit, a major company like Ben and Jerry's did that. Maybe we can take some steps and give them some shit back. They ain't doing it. And neither are you, Ben and Jerry's. But I cannot stand how people just, and they do it with black folks. We were just, oh, we're black. I came here on a ship. Oh, I can't do any better because the white man has his boot right here. Oh, right? They do the same shit with the Indians. The Indians were just, what was that? Leslie Nielsen? Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? So the Indians, they were just hunting deer and shooting buffalo and weaving baskets and shit with their squaw and the papoose and the fucking teepees, right? Eating maize. And then here coming, yahoo! Fucking pilgrims with their belt buckles and the buckles on their hats and their belts and their shoes. They like buckles. And they came in and said, here, you little red-faced savage. Here are some blankets. We got some, take that blanket. Here's some whiskey and some turquoise. Some fucking, what's that turquoise jewel? And some silver. They were just, okay. Oh, we go, white man. We go to land you send us to. We want no problem. We are weak little people. And the Indians just put their little heads down with their braids. They just put their heads down and went and just got shuffled around, got herded around. They didn't fight back. They weren't fucking up white people. They weren't fierce warriors. They weren't intelligent. They didn't know the land front to back better than the white man could. None of that. Just erase all of their history. They were just some red-faced people that the white people exploited and kicked them all around the United States. And they went quietly into the night, whimpering. Don't you hate that shit? When they make a group of people just look weak and childlike, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Look at them. Look at their skin. It's not their fault. Such bullshit. Ben and Jerry's ain't gonna do shit but tweet. When you give up your headquarters in Vermont, Ben and Jerry's, then we'll take your dumb, commie, weird, pervert-looking asses seriously. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.